Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rebirth Summit 2026. I'm Phillip Woolfolk, Managing Director of Main Street Advisory and Phillip Speaks. Through Main Street Advisory, I facilitate funding for real estate investors and entrepreneurs. Through Phillip Speaks, I am an author, speaker, coach, where I provide engagements in the areas of financial literacy, home ownership, real estate investing, and self-improvement, self-empowerment, facilitating transformation from limiting beliefs to possibility thinking. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Angelo Reynolds. Welcome to the show, Dr. Reynolds.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So give me a moment to share a little bit of on your bio. It's quite extensive, so I may not cover it all, but I'll give the audience a little bit, some tidbits about you. So,
Sure.
Dr. Reynolds is a doctor. He's a professional speaker, trainer, and thought leader. Dr. Reynolds helps people overcome life's toughest setbacks, including trauma, addiction, loss, and life transitions, and rebuild with confidence, resilience, and purpose. He does this through speaking, transformational training, workshops, coaching, and his proven mindset tools from the Transformers Academy, a system he created based on his own journey from hardship to achievement. Dr. Reynolds has over 35 years of experience working in human services and educational arenas. Dr. Angelo also began his career working as a Metropolitan DC police officer, where he served for 5 years. In 1998, he decided he needed a change and began working in the educational arena. He's worked as a peer mediation specialist, working with severely emotionally disturbed students, a training facilitator for clients released from prison who were looking to re-engage in the workforce, and an adjunct professor at Bowie State University, where he taught undergraduate psychology classes for 5 years and also taught educational leadership at the University of Maryland Graduate School for 2 years. Angelo also now works as a professional speaker and thought leader. His focus is to empower and motivate individuals who are trying to overcome trauma. His personalized training and workshops focus on moving people from confusion and pain into transformation and action. Thank you so much for being on the show. You have a lot there.
Thank you for having me. Thank you much.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your own transformation. Describe for us kind of emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and help us feel where you were at the beginning.
Yeah, thank you for segueing into that. The whole notion of trauma began early on, and as I have listened to other speakers today, you realize that you're not alone. And so with
Right.
this whole notion of trauma, in fact, I give a little statistic because this just recently came out from the World Health Organization that 70% of the world, okay, will have or have had a traumatic experience. And so that says a
Wow.
lot about where we are today, and even the previous experiences that people have had with their own trauma. It says a lot about the work that we need to do. So with
Oh,
so with
absolutely.
my own trauma, what I did over the years was began to start this whole process of moving from being a victim to turn it into something victorious, like taking
Right.
some of my skills, my experiences, and taking those things and sort of marinating it to people where they can also heal. Because as you
Absolutely.
all know, and some of your speakers talked earlier, that trauma is never fully healed, but it's managed. And so that's what
Mhm.
my goal is and mission today is when I talk to people, I talk about the healing, but more of the managing portion when it often resurfaces.
Okay, absolutely. So what was your breaking point? Was there a major moment or situation that really forced change for you? Share with us what happened.
Yeah, about 20 years ago, I was convicted as a felon. And so I literally lost everything that I had acquired and worked for. And I couldn't work for 7 years. I was unemployed, and I
Mm-hmm.
was on house arrest for a year. And during that time, I dealt with alcoholism. And so my
Right.
alcoholism, coupled with my mental health and the trauma of what had happened, had gotten so out of control. I was headed for self-destruction. And so
Right.
during that period of time, I had to come up with a plan, not knowing a plan, not knowing what my next direction was going to be. I had to do something. And it was
Right.
that moment of trauma that I realized that I had to get to the next side. But how do I do that? And how do I get
Right.
myself out of such a looming position that I can come back from my setback and move forward and help other people? And so that was the turning point, because I could either continue to be the victim, or I could
Right.
turn this into something that was victorious, not just for myself as a healing component, but for others who have gone through similar and worse situations.
Oh, absolutely. So what did transformation feel like? Tell us a little bit about your internal process, the fears that you had to deal with, the breakthroughs, the healing, decisions that you made and how those led to your steps forward.
Yeah, the question, if you can I? And I think
Right.
that is one of the underlining um, catalyst pieces that keep people from moving forward. The courage, and also the inquisitive. Can I do this? And how do I
Right.
do this? And
Right.
for me, trying to figure out my next direction and try to keep my mind insane was very challenging. It was very
Yeah.
difficult. But two things that sort of stuck out that helped me to start to take the first step, that was my will and desire. And I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, as my grandmother used to say, if you have the will, you'll find a way. And that's
Yeah.
and that's not in a boastful manner, but that's in a way
Right.
that I want people to think about your position where you are. Do you have the will and the strong desire to make that change, to overcome, to
Right.
move forward? Because there's a whole lot of things that has to be put in place, but nothing can be done without the will and desire.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So who or what supported your journey? Did you have people, faith, tools, practices? I see you developed a system.
Yeah.
What helped you and kind of got you through that time in your life?
Well, first and foremost, my faith in God, knowing that God has always been with me, always stood with me. But He also gave me another side of my heart. That was my wife, because we
Yeah.
literally lost everything. And when I say
Hmm.
everything, material, money, ability to make money, all those things. And people always ask me all the time. They say, how did your wife stay around? Well, we had two little boys at the time who were just coming
Right.
up. And I always tell people, without my wife and without God, I wouldn't even be here talking today, because
Right.
she has literally been the foundation of recovery, if you will. And I feel
Right.
I feel as God strengthened her as well, so that she could withstand some of the trauma and things that we were doing as we were trying to come back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So where are you now in your journey? Tell us a little bit about, how life has changed, what's different now.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I've gone from over the years from blaming to forgiving. I've
Okay.
learned now that my healing I've become more strengthening in my progress, because I forgave, right?
Right.
But I forgave myself, right? Because a lot
Right.
of times people, they say, well, I forgave so and so, forgave people, but I always ask people, have you forgiven yourself? And so
Right.
that has helped me over the years to realize that I have forgiven myself, I have forgiven people who have harmed me, but I've also provided a platform so that God spared me so that I can help others. And so
Right.
today you mentioned in the bio, we're contracted at one of the federal prisons to provide
Hmm.
trauma informed care to inmates. And
Okay.
it's been almost a year, and I can tell you it's been one of the most enlightening, exciting things that we've done since we
Right.
relocated to this area, because it
Oh,
gives me
sure.
an opportunity to take what I've learned, what I share, and help guys who are trying to re-enter and get their lives back into society.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
given your own experience, share with us a little bit about what does that gratification feel like to be impactful in that way?
Yeah. Overwhelming sometimes, but the best feeling I've ever had. And also another thing my grandmother used to say that, when people say, why do things happen, bad things happen to good people? And she used
Hmm.
to say, why not you? And so,
You're
so
right.
now I realize that the purpose, the
Hmm.
path that was already set forth, gave me a direction. It gave me an
You're right.
opportunity to visualize something that I wanted to do, but something that could impact others.
Oh, absolutely. So it kind of boils down to you could not be the person that you are today, contributing in the way that you are today, without your own trauma.
My own trauma, and my trauma began. I was abused as a child, early
Hmm.
on. The whole notion of being sexually abused as a child and having to live with that as a little boy growing up,
Yeah.
it just followed every facet of my life, trying to
Mhm.
identify who I was and find my place in the world.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
why when I hear people talk about trauma, some of us have had it as early as childhood. And so
Oh, absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
it's a level of thought and confusion that follows you until you begin to try to heal, and that healing process begins with forgiveness. And so that's sort
Absolutely.
of that's
Yeah.
what strengthened me today and allowed me to be here and talk openly and candidly about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what message would you have for someone who may be kind of stuck in their pain or trauma, um, and they're looking for a way out? What would you say to them?
Yeah, take a look at yourself. Take a look at where you are. We are the best assessment for each other.
Hmm.
When you go to therapy or when you go to agencies for workshops and trainings, the first thing I do is I get an assessment where people are. And I always
Right.
tell people that it starts with the man in the mirror. Take a look
Yeah.
at what you would like, what you want, your goals, and then sort of draw up a blueprint, right? Find out
Right.
what avenues and strategic ways am I going to try to do something to get started. And I always tell people, take a step, because courage impedes a lot of people's flow because they're afraid
Right.
that they're going to fail. Don't worry about failing. It's part of the journey. Take that step,
Oh,
do your
absolutely.
self-evaluation and assessment, and you'll figure it out.
Right, right, right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Reynolds. It's been a real pleasure, hearing you share your heart and your powerful story. Your journey is certainly a beacon of hope for people. This has been another incredible conversation here on Rebirth TV, and stay tuned for more incredible conversations with courageous speakers from around the world. Until next time, this is Rebirth TV signing off.